Hello everyone, and welcome to the WPF World Pokemon Federation season, a higher number than I can remember. We're here with week 3. It's been a challenging start to the season, but we had a similarly challenging start to the season in VBL, and we managed to pull it through from there. So let's hopefully be able to get our first dub of the season this week. I am playing against Sly, whose team name I don't remember. But look, I've been in a number of leagues with Sly. I played against him in VPL in playoffs recently. I actually got a bit lucky there. And look, if I can get as lucky as that again, I'll take it. If not, hopefully I can still win. This is an interesting matchup. My opponent has a fairly Trick Room-oriented team with like a Tailwind pocket, with both Salamence and Jumpluff as premium Tailwind setters, and Oranguru as a very premium Trick Room setter. So that's definitely something you have to keep in mind. And yet again, this is another matchup where Raging Bolt is absolutely terrible. Its Dragon Stab is okay. Its Dragon Stab is actually pretty good. There's really only this one that takes it. Special attackers are okay in general as well, but its Electric Stab is quite bad, and defensively Electric is not a particularly premium type here. That said, I don't have it on the team, and the fact that I don't have it on the team, it does increase the my exposure to Melodic. In general, this team takes a lot of types really well. They've got that a very good matchup into the sort of bread and butter, basic Pokemon types of the 3 starter types in Pikachu, and then they don't have any of those. Like, some teams are surprisingly weak to poison, some teams are surprisingly weak to this team is 3 normal types. It's not really worried about ghost types at all. Porygon could even come. It's really not a team, it's a team that has weaknesses to fairly standard weaknesses. It doesn't take ice moves amazingly, it doesn't take fighting moves amazingly, ground, flying type. Technically it says it doesn't take psychic types super well, but that's including Riolu, which, while it may come, is not necessarily the Pokemon that I am most scared about. It does have Price Roncore, and that is something you have to keep in mind. But the Salazzle is also not like a major weakness there, so this is also my first. I haven't mentioned that. This is my first week after transactions. I dropped a bunch of Pokemon to make this a Modern Generation 9 team. I dropped Hippowdon, Arcanine, and Dugong for Tinglu, Scoville, and Trudel, and Frigivax. These Pokemon all have new nicknames. I can only remember the ones that I put in this game, which we will discuss there in a little bit. But no, that's not true. I remember this is Pope John the 22nd, because he did Vatican II, and it's the double-headed spicy chili. Good old Vatican II. But yes, so we are here once again in an interesting matchup where it's like, okay, it's also a challenging team to bring Palafin into. It's not something that leads great into opposing Trick Room. It's really mostly just a knockoff user in that situation. So it is an interesting matchup for sure. It's something where I'm also looking, a little bit down on like Iron Jugulus and stuff. And it's another game where things hit me really hard. Ursaluna Blood Moon's Mind's Eye, I think it is, ability that allows it to hit ghost types with normal type moves, means that it is a sketchier matchup for Sinistcha than it would otherwise be, having a decent matchup into Iron Hands, and then having a decent matchup into regular Ursaluna, but not this one. So definitely something you have to keep in mind. Salamence, definitely the Trick Room options are scary. Melodic is a bulky Pokemon, and Oranguru is a very good Trick Room setter. So here's the team that I brought. I have Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. So it's Taunt, Bulk Up. This Wave Crash with it has a really good chance to just OHKO after it's turned into the full version. Once it's turned into the full version, this is a really good chance to OHKO Blood Moon Ursaluna, which is good. Citrus Berry Recovery is nice, Bulk Up, and then it's got Ice Punch with the ability to hit Salamence. Otherwise, water is reasonably okay here. Getting burned by Melodic would be quite bad, and Melodic is generally an issue, but it does have Taunt to be able to slow down Melodic setup options. Here we have Husha, the Iron Boulder, so it's got Loaded Dice Rock Blast, and that's to be hopefully able to get through a Sash on either of these Pokemon, the Jumpluff or the Salazzle. and with Rock Blast, and then it also has access to Taunt, so I do have the ability to double taunt the Rangaroo if they lead like a non-fake out lead next to a Rangaroo. It has access to Terrabug Megahorn as well, which can threaten a Rangaroo directly, and it also has Zen Headbutt, which is for predominantly Iron Hands. Then we have, Terrabug defensively is also nice because it means that I will resist the ground move and fighting move. Not amazing, but not terrible by any means. Then we have Spec Sinister here with the Terrabug as well for similar reasons. This one has Terra Blast Bug to be able to hit the Oranguru. Machagotcha as a spread move is actually reasonably strong here. So they do have a few grass resists, but I can just not click. So I don't have a flying resist with my Terra, which is definitely a challenge. But I can always just not click Machagotcha against this. Also don't have a fire resist. I considered heat proof, but against Trick Room you really do appreciate the recovery you get for Hospitality, especially on potentially like Thung Shopping we have coming up. So yeah, 5 stars here, and it's offensive once again, even more offensive with the Specs Modest. This should live a Blood Moon from Ursaluna if it is not +1, so like this is generally meant to play around like a Throat Spray variant. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Then we've got Tinker here. It's Covert Cloak to be able to deal with Fake Out from Salazzle. That's really the entire thought process there. It's Terra Flying, it's especially defensive. It's got Knockoff. Fake Out with Mold Breaker allows it to flinch a Rangaroo if they haven't thought through that. And it does have Gigaton Hammer there for damage, and Knockoff is decent utility. There's access to Protect as well, which is convenient. Then we have Shroodle here. Itself with Encore, it has both Acid Spray and Leer to facilitate damage. Leer drops both my opponent's defense stats by 1 stage, which is really good for Iron Boulder. It really does need that little bit burst of extra damage. It can also be good for Palafin if I've been intimidated. And in general, right? Like it allows me to skip a bulk up, as it were. Then Acid Spray allows Sinister to get some otherwise more challenging KOs, particularly looking at into Iron Hands. Yeah, and then it's got Encore. May as well use it against the Sly, who is the absolute legend of using Prankster Encore. It's got Knockoff. It's Terra Ghost for Fake Out predominantly. And then you have Thung Shopping with the Clear Amulet. This Pokemon is slower than everything except Porygon in Trick Room. It's got reasonable damage between Stomping, Throat Chop, and Terra Blast. It's got that attack boosting nature, and it has a lot of special defense because I honestly am still pretty scared of it. So it's got Terra Blast Fairy to be able to hit Iron Hands predominantly. So that is the team. Let's find good old Fly Sly. I do not need the Don't Allow Spectators on. Regulation F, best of 3, send the challenge. Alright. I don't really know what they'll bring. I expect these two, and probably a Rangaroo. Those two, Oranguru, Riolu did come, and Salazzle and Salamence did come. Okay, so no Melodic is good. No Jumpluff seems quite good. No Berserker. No Porygon? Is that 6 Pokemon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is. That's a bit of an odd one there. Okay, well, that's another matchup I was building for today. I just got back from some holidays. They were quite nice. Did not wind up bringing the Dragon. Though, like I said, Dragon Stab is reasonably good here. Salamence is just scary. I feel like Iron Boulder seems like a reasonable lead here, next to a Thinkaton. I would love if I could have fit Protect, but I felt like I needed all these moves on it. Though maybe I didn't. Yeah. So Tinkaton has access to that. Like I said, the Fake Out there, and it can't be faked out by the Salazzle. So I think I'm going to follow it up, because I'm trying to prevent Trick Room. I think I'm going to follow it up with a Sinistcha and Shroodle. Good luck, have fun. Yeah, only one of my Pokemon actually has a sprite. Sorry, a model, rather. The Shroodle one looks particularly odd with how thick the outer line is. I think that's like the... I forget what that was, is that... Just have fun, damn. I suppose it's definitely on me, the burden of me to wish the good luck here. Okay, we see the Guru lead come out. We want to immediately fake out the Guru. And honestly, I kind of want to throw Taunt into it. In case they don't fake out the Boulder. So fake out here hits Arena Focus, so they need to be Covert Cloak or the Mold Breaker ability shield to not get flinched. I should probably be throwing damage into it, but I'm going with the fake out play this time. The Taunt damage to play this time. I don't know, should I be throwing damage into it? It does look like throwing damage into it makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna throw damage into it. Okay, they went for an attack, presumably. They went for Swords Dance. Yo, oh, they have the Covert Cloak. They have the Covert Cloak. I didn't bring Tingler. I could have double attacked that slot, and it looks like it would have died to the knockoff. So I throw the knockoff out here for sure, and I think I have to just throw a hard Zen into Iron Hands. But I probably lose. Okay, so they did bring the Covert Cloak. I did think it was definitely possible. It definitely is a good bring on their end for sure. Should I be getting Oranguru out, or should I be focusing on getting Iron Hands out? I feel like I just want to knock and Zen the Iron Hands here. On the plus side, this does look really good for the potential double taunt lead. Or even just a single taunt. I was going to taunt! I had this whole thing of like, okay, cool, I can click taunt, and then I didn't do it, and it's my fault. Crucio dying is obviously unfortunate. We throw a knockoff there. And I think we have to hit that Shadow Ball into Iron Hands. Psychic Noise. That, yeah, prevents me from healing. Okay, Ice Punch. Interesting. That was a crit. That's bad. Okay, it's Ability Shield. Interesting. Well, I just Encore that Ice Punch for sure. I could theoretically win with good Leer turns. No, not with that much damage for coming out from Ice Punch. I mean, I know it's a 50-50, as it always tends to be. Why haven't I thrown a Gigaton at any point? So yeah, with Citrus Berry on the Iron Hands, okay. Yeah, I mean, the fact that I tied to Ice Punch there is definitely bad. Okay, so it's Ability Shield, so I can always taunt it. I should definitely have gone for the taunt there. I'm just going to spam Encore. I shouldn't tell them any of my other moves. It's unfortunate I'm already telling them Sash. I wish that Pain Split 50-50 had gone the other way. Okay, so Ability Shield, okay. I was literally going to taunt, and it would have worked out, and I didn't go for it, and that not going for it was bad. Why would they switch there? I feel like they should always have stayed in. GG. I think I can lock the same leads. Did we see the last move? Oh my gosh. Okay. We did not see the last one. I still think it's probably an electric move. Honestly, yeah, I definitely feel like the same lead could work, because I can always just fake out the Iron Hands, right? Follow up with Sinister. Honestly, the Strudel follow-up still doesn't seem bad. I could even go for a Tinkaton Palafin lead, and then use the taunt switch the next turn. I'm just gonna make sure. It doesn't have... Yeah, none of those abilities make it immune to taunt. Okay, so... I think I want the same thing, but I want to try and get Palafin in. It doesn't look like that knockoff would have KO'd. How much were they at? $32. Maybe Knock would have picked up. They were definitely more physically defensive than specially defensive. Use too frank. So like I said, they need to be the ability shield or the Covert Cloak. This does tell me the Covert Cloak is likely on one of their other Pokemon. we did see that it was not on the Iron Hands. Alright, this time we fake out the Iron Hands and we taunt the Oranguru. We see if they throw a Wild Charge into this. Well, we know they can't. The Iron Hands damage is definitely a problem though, for sure. Okay, so it doesn't look like they fake out themselves, or at the very least, if they are fake out, they didn't go for it. I think I always want to knock the Iron Hands and bring in Faisal in this slot. Oh my gosh, that's 2 KO even with my bulk. Yeah, Psychic Noise Place is definitely good. Okay, that's bad, as always. Yeah, even with my max HP. I don't need this. Let's just skip down so that doesn't get confusing. Yeah, I've thrown the knock there, but it's not doing anything. I can Terrabug Ice Punch, but that's unlikely to be enough. I think I have to throw the Gigasan out here. Oh, the Giga Train was also a mistake then. I can double... I could double the, like the Terrablast Bug and Knockoff into the Guru slot. But that does lock me into Terrablast Bug, which isn't great. I probably get a switch. I think this is worth doing. The Ting-Lu doesn't feel great at this point, but it is what it is. The Oranguru is slower than the Iron Hands, which means that the Iron Hands is... Oh my gosh. Okay, the Terrabug did not work out. I quote, the Terrabug did not work out. Okay, well actually that damage is pretty reasonable. I feel like I can throw the Gigaton. Honestly, I feel like I can just double the Salamence here. Because I'm always getting a switch. The problem is how well do I feel like I'm doing generally? Oh, well that's good for me, I suppose. The 1% live after those hits. That's definitely interesting. Drain Punch, okay, went into Faisal. This isn't good. I need to be able to switch this. So never mind. Well, we don't think that they're that specially defensive, so I think I can just throw the attacks into... They haven't thrown their Terastallization out yet either. I mean, imagine if I... Nah, there's no way I was ever going to click Shadow Ball into that slot. So I could do the Rock Blast play, or I could go for the Zen play and double into the Iron Hands. There's no way it's doing anything. The Iron Hands is just a really good Pokemon. I think I have to go for the double up here into Oranguru, and then somehow just magically beat Iron Hands using Witchcraft. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh my gosh, it's Terra Steel. Okay, yeah, GG. GG. Alright. Yeah, okay. Maybe I'm not pulling it off this season. Maybe I'm not pulling it off this season. Let's pull these replays up. I'll just ask for the paste. I don't know. Iron Hands is just a really, really good Pokemon. Yeah, I think Iron Hands is... I've said this before. I think Iron Hands is probably the best Pokemon in draft. I'll draw Slime my pace, but yeah, didn't wind up working out at all. Did not wind up working out at all. Maybe the transactions were not a good idea, but yes. I don't know. I needed the Leer support from Strudel, but then... Was this mon really not even dying to... So -1 defense is still not dying to Zenman? I mean, Iron Boulder is not a good Pokemon. Iron Boulder is really not a good Pokemon. Okay. I should have gone for the Taunt play. Like, I mean, you guys are here. You know that I was considering the Taunt play very closely. Okay, so it was quite specially defensive. Okay. So like I basically always needed to double this with Zen and Wave Crash. I don't even know how I was getting there. Durstellar. Durstellar Terror Blast. That's crazy. Yeah. Temper Flare. That's the that's the one that doubles in power. I mean, Zero Bulk. Salamence. Obviously the Mold Breaker did not wind up being even vaguely useful, which sucked. Do they have Cover Cloak on Blood Moon? Okay. Yeah. So that 41 was the absolute min-roll? Nah, it just isn't. That's unfortunate. No, this is a different spread. I was at -1. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Look, hopefully I'll be able to do more into the next season. Iron Hands is an obnoxiously good Pokemon. I think that there is really no... I mean, look at what I was doing. It's like, okay, I'll just get my 2 top tiers to click their like super effective move, and look, obviously part of the problem is that Iron Boulder is genuinely awful. It is incredibly mediocre as Pokemon goes. Mighty Cleave is not that relevant. Let's look at this. Okay, sorry, that's my team. Okay, so we'll look. There's one move it ignored on this entire team. Good job. We love that for you. One move. It's just not a good Pokemon, man. This Pokemon, like Mighty Cleave, it's weaker than like not Lycanroc Dusk, right? Obviously, Lycanroc Dusk is 112 attack. Lycanroc Regular, it's weaker than Stone Edge by Lycanroc Regular. That's bad. Zen is an awful stab move. Look at it bouncing off of a Pokemon that it's super effective into. How much was the Spec Shadow Ball doing if I had actually just been a good player and committed to it? Nothing? Nothing? Nah, they weren't max SPDF. What was the spread? 4 SPDF. And then 220 HP. Oh, but look, it's a barely a 2 Akio. And if they Drain Punch, they just heal that out of that range. Yeah, I don't know. Look, my opponent didn't even run like a mental herb on their thing. I taunted it and I still lost, so it just shows that I'm not, like, I just was not equipped for this team. I don't think there was a whole lot different I could have done in prep, so we're looking at like the Acid Spray Shadow Ball would have picked up. That's still pretty bad. So we look at the, -2 special